been a long time coming, but still I'm on smash. Never no breaks, I'm giving them all gas. Living for today, middle finger to pass. Also give it to the ones who thought I wouldn't last. Fake ass friends, never been family. The more I make moves, the more these niggas can't stand me. Smile in my face, but knowing they wanna ban me. Make up any lie so niggas could try to hand me. Tell it to the pen and telling it to the streets. But nigga, I'm in tune with the pen in the streets. No room for defeat when you facing a real low. I ride by my lonely so I see behind the smoke. Can't wash one hand without washing the other. Cause I'm a real keeper and my motherfucking brother's point guard of the streets. Some plays I had to change up, nothing stay the same. Remembering how I came up, dreams of a scholar. Nigga bitching quarters for $1 and hope one day I get that candy painting parlor. That's the street life, East Long Beach life. Never had a one-track mind, so I think twice. Niggas think it's good shit, cause I stay on my deuces and still relevant. But you knew this, never been a game. While other niggas talk it, I do this. You can't make a move without a movement. See,
Yes. Good morning, good afternoon. You are tuned in to Eastside Radio, and this is Lil Bam.
Jazzy.
And I'd like to thank y'all listeners, viewers for tuning in, you know, because y'all could be doing something else. But y'all chose to tune in and give a good ear and see what we're going to be chopping it up about today. But before that, y'all go out and get that Point Guard of the Streets EP. It's available now on iTunes. Y'all go get that, man. Y'all can go to lilbam.bandcamp.com if y'all want the hard copy shipped out to you anywhere across the United States, Canada, all over the place. And y'all make sure y'all tune in to Talk Eastside Radio. That's for the Instagram and for the Facebook. So y'all could, you know, just to shine in on certain topics that, you know, y'all may have missed. You know, we interacting on there with people. So y'all do that. But, you know, how was everybody's weekend? I see the weekend is over. All this New Year and Christmas stuff is over. Back to work for certain people. I know them vacations is, I know they hate today right now.
Back to the crowded freeways, man.
Well, I think certain schools is out for an extra week, so
Out another week.
certain jobs too, certain people jobs too. But you know what? I had an interesting discussion to bring up, man. Far as, you know, friends and homies is concerned, you know, you got fake friends, real homies. It seemed like the roles reversed. What would you consider as a friend and what you consider as a homie?
Man, I've experienced my opinion on that, man. A friend is somebody, you know, you could, I mean, that's almost like saying your brother.
Right.
You know, I stop what I'm doing for my friend, a real loyal friend.
Right.
I look at my friend like I would look at a family member, like almost like my blood, you know.
Right.
And a homie, man, what would I consider a homie? Because a homie, you know, is somebody you probably went to school with. You didn't spend a whole lot of time with them, but you're cool with them, you know. But as far as sharing your secrets and stop doing what you're doing and be there for them, you know, like that's a friend, you know.
See, it could go both ways. It could go both ways because really, a friend is supposed to be somebody you could count on, you could depend on. You know, growing up, a friend was a hell of a word. You know,
Exactly.
You know, you don't misuse that word. You know, a lot of people. That's why you didn't hear a lot of people saying friend. You know, homeboy was more like the newer way of saying associate. You know, a homie.
Accepted.
But you got. I mean, homie is more of an extended family.
Mm-hmm.
Homeboy, you know, that's my extended brother, my street brother. You know,
Exactly.
Certain people, you know, misuse the two.
Oh yeah.
But it's like the roles reverse. Like your friends is supposed to be somebody you could count on and you trust. But it's like the roles reverse now. It's your homies that you could trust.
And you don't have too many.
You know what I mean? Before you could even trust what you call. Because a friend more so going to be that new era cousin. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It ain't really a part of your family, but That's your play cousin
to
or
it,
your,
yeah.
or your play brother. It's somebody real close. Yeah, somebody you could send to pick up your
Exactly.
kids if you can't
Exactly.
make it to get your
Exactly.
kids.
You're right.
But now it's like those the ones that you hold that title with them. They it turns to the point to where it's like, damn, you can't even trust the ones that you call your friends
you right.
now. It's more so your homies that was working, they just stood in that certain pool. But it's like they worked themselves up to be the friends.
Exactly.
The friends then work their way into being associates now. It's like the roles reversed to me.
Yeah, and I also feel like when you hold it at a homie, it's not so surprising when they, do something that you deem disrespectful, or they do something that ain't cool as far as, what you would look at as a friend. If the homie do that, you like, you know what, man, that's it doesn't surprise me.
Well, I mean, just from a street perspective, you got associates, you got people you cool with, then you got your homies, your partners, however you want to look at them. But like I said, it was still a culture of family orientation behind that, and now it's like it's just washed away.
Yeah, man, it's tough, man. I mean, me personally, I'm a loyal soldier when it comes to, when I say you my friend, I'm your friend to the death. I'm gonna roll with you, like whether you got like two left shoes. You can be wrong as two left shoes. I'm rolling with you. That it's hard to find people like that, and sometimes I put myself in a situation where I never thought I would say too loyal, because I don't want to change my character. Say, okay, because this person did that to me, I'm not gonna be loyal to nobody. But it's hard to trust people that you saying they're your friend. Me, if I'm wrong, and I'm dead wrong, I'll be like, you know what, man, my bad. I'm not gonna have too much pride to say I'm wrong, because if you my friend, I don't want to lose my friendship over
Right.
me having too much
Friendship is
pride
supposed
to
to
say
be important.
more powerful than that.
It's
man.
supposed to be important.
Yeah, man.
But see, it's okay. The friends now, the fake friends, is the ones that misuse the friendship.
Exactly.
So they misusing the friendship to the point to where it's like, okay, your friend, you tell your most inner deep,
Exactly.
secrets, thoughts to. That's why you had that friend and
Exactly.
best friend. Your best friend you told everything to.
Exactly.
But see, your best friend probably don't get as much attention you get.
Yeah, that's true.
They probably wasn't as likable as you were, but they were still your best friend.
Exactly.
So they trying to see how they could get on your level, and sometimes they misuse that friendship, and the innermost, the most inner, deepest secrets that you tell them, they go out and tell other people to use it against you. You get what I'm saying? And that's a fake friend. That's somebody that you trusted, but you trust with whatever it is, whether it's money, whether it's, a homie, it could be somebody you see you grew up with.
Exactly.
Y'all go play ball.
Yeah.
Y'all, y'all shoot the shit every now and then. Y'all ain't got to really kick it like that, but that's still your homie.
Yeah, exactly.
But now a real homie is going to be, they taking that role as that friend now. It's somebody that you could trust.
Yeah, exactly.
They got your back. You ain't really got to ask them if they got your back. You know what I mean? They support you on certain shit you do. They want to see you, progress. They want to see you grow. Because it's a lot of that's not, like, I can't see how you could call yourself either or, my friend or my homie, but you don't want to see me progress in something that I'm doing.
But
you don't want to see me excel and elevate successfully. That's
Yeah.
that.
It just bugs me out. I can't even understand. I can't even comprehend when a person has no, like they have said it earlier, they have too much pride to say, you know what, man, my bad, man, or you catch them in something they know they did wrong. Me, I'm like, man, you know what, my bad, man. I take that one, man, my bad. But then you invest 10, 15 years in something you think is a friendship, then you start finding out it's not what you thought it was.
Right.
And that's what hurt the most. Like me, I'm like, okay, I'm still going to give this person the benefit of the doubt and see if I'm going to get a phone call and say, you know what, man, my bad, man. Because my friendship is more important than this BS that we went through. I was wrong.
Right. See,
and you won't get that in today's dudes, man.
now
that's what's tripping me out. Man.
That's a real homie.
Yeah.
That's a real homie. Somebody that know they at fault,
man,
and they man enough to voice up and say, you know what, I was wrong about this situation. You know what, I was listening to this person and that person.
Yeah.
Or you know what, I should have came to you and talked to you. Because see, it's a lot of what's going on, a lot of the bullshit that's going on in the streets, whether it's corporate world, whatever, it's a lot of he say, she say shit.
Yeah.
So, okay, if you my homie or you my friend, no matter what you hear somebody say, you shouldn't even believe it.
Exactly.
If it's my friend, if I call somebody my friend or my homeboy, if somebody come tell me something that this person is saying or this individual is saying, I shouldn't even give it 2 ears. You know what I mean? I shouldn't give it 2 seconds of airplay. Why? Because I know where I stand with that person.
Yeah. Plus, my thing is, we should know each other well enough to know that whatever I say to somebody else, I'm not concerned about them going back saying nothing because I'll say that same thing to that person's face.
Or you've already said it.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
What I mean? So, you've already said it. But a lot of people like to keep bullshit going on.
But you know what, though? Sometimes we are guilty of being so angry that we vent to people that we really shouldn't be venting to. You know, like, or they, because that person you venting to can't wait because misery loves company. They're going to run back, or Jazzy said this, or so-and-so said this. But at the end of the day, I know I'll say to everything I say, I'll say it to the person's face that I'm talking about. But at the end of the day, man, it's very, very tough to say friend now because I've experienced some weird stuff in my life. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to let that change me as a person. It just makes me a more better judge of character. You know, you can't just, that's my friend.
No, right.
Got a lot of homies though.
Right. No, right. So, you know, even with that being said, you get that to where people twist up things, which, you know, lead into, you know, our main conversation of the day. But it goes out to where if you let the streets get a hold of something, the streets really they gonna run with it, and they gonna go haywire with it. I mean, it's more so like first know, first believe. The first person that know it or hear it is the first person that's gonna broadcast it and put it out there. And once it gets out there, it's like you damn near have to, you know, you got to explain yourself to a matter that really don't even matter.
Exactly. You could be sitting at home. This how messy. You got guys that now need to start pulling down their pants and sitting down and pissing, man. Just sit down and piss because they'll call you and bring up something for you to feed into it and talk negative about it so they can run back to the person that they called you about and say something about it. That's bitchy to me.
Well, what that is,
and I'm like, man,
that's just validation of the bullshit.
Yeah,
see, a person to go relate.
Yeah,
a person to sit in a conversation with you, and if even whether you speaking you don't even have to speak about this person negative,
man.
You know what I mean? You could just say what you don't like about this person, and they gonna go twist it on what they really don't like.
But what they'll do,
put it on you,
is go back to the person and tell them all the negative stuff that you said, but they won't say what they said.
No.
And I don't get down like that. And I'm not even vindictive to where I call it what so and so said, because that person put them on the phone. I'm one of them cats. Let's all get on the phone, you know. But at the end of the day, man, you got to be real careful with that word friend. You know, but I've been
careful on what you believe.
Yeah, exactly.
And everything. You know what I mean?
Anything that I speak on is real. I'm not going, especially if I've invested a long time in a friendship. Whatever I'm speaking on, I don't care what that person is going around saying, because sometimes the person feels so bad that you done said something because somebody done ran back and said something. They get to making up shit, you know.
And we gonna go to break on that. You know, this Lil Bam, y'all tuned in to Eastside Radio with one less co-host, Sky.
Yeah, man, bless you.
Grinding like this. Grinding like this.
See, I ride like a SS. When school's in session, I'm popular with the best dress. I ain't just hood, when I step out, I stay fresh. This underground music, I know I'm one of the BZS. Fix they mirrors and pump they brakes, cause they tryna watch every fucking move I make. Just stay out my way, I hit the hole like the bus. Retire, look in the eyes of the distrust. I ain't no fool, loose lips, sink ships. Got a lockdown on my hustle like vice grips. City by the sea, still a city full of crips. And the haters can't stand that I roll like this. Two finger stroll like this. And everywhere I go it's black and gold like this. Hit you with a fist with my deuced out demeanor. You better be prepared when you're stepping in my arena. So I gotta let you know
Grinding like this. Grinding like this.
Cold game when you're in it, man. The ones who talk it, they really ain't about their business, man. I don't just talk it, I walk it, I live it. Post a nigga up without switching up on my pivot. Boy, ain't go out of the streets, I cherish it like Gizzo. Bitch niggas foul me, I make it up at my free throws. Wanna play the game? Well, I play to win. Call yourself grown men full of estrogen. Cause of the bitchy ass ways and the things bitches say. Come out your mouth and you're thinking it's okay. See, I ride like this for a purpose. Shut that shit down, have your ass clocking out, not working. Hit you where it hurt in your pockets. Ain't no supporting your movement, so you really need to stop it. Grind, hustle hard for the profit. Everywhere I go, this Long Beach, so it ain't no stopping it. That's why I let you know
Grinding like this.
Yes. You are back.
Yeah.
Eastside Radio, tuned in with Lil Bam right now.
And Jazzy.
And Sky is absent, due to personal matters, y'all know. So, we sending our house to her. She'll be back next week. But, man, you know what? We're going to go and jump into this, man. One thing that's that I'm really interested in and that's really taking me on a doozy, man, is this Bill Cosby.
Oh, man.
The whole Bill Cosby situation that they put in the media. I don't know what everybody else's view and opinion is on it. I know it might be touchy with certain women because, certain women that may have been through a matter like that, they get, emotionally attached to it. And, it's just, fuck everything. He did it.
Exactly.
My thing is when you start with the headlines of this topic with him, it's just all out just negative. They out to bash him. They, just, okay. One thing I like about his attorney, Presley, she don't just let certain shit slip through. If they address it, she addresses it. If they speak on it, she speak on it. And the media put out there that 50 women came out.
Yeah, and accused him. Now,
his attorney countered that and said it wasn't 50 women. Now, another thing that's going on, okay, if a woman comes out and say, we were at a dinner and he brushed up against my breast, that's not the same as the women that are coming up saying that they had sex with him or that he allegedly allegedly drugged them to, have sex with them. And they had sex with him 4 or 5 times prior to that. So that right there I don't know, that just don't sit well with me to where
me neither.
You could come out, and then not just that, it's 30 years later. 27 some odd years later. Yep. And like his attorney touched on, you mean to tell me that these women never went to the police, never even told a single soul? Now, I don't know. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand women keep secrets. Yeah. They can keep a secret. But at the same time, it's going to be somebody you tell if you feel. And one thing I know about women, if they're threatened by an individual or they feel uncomfortable around this man, they not gonna keep going around a man that they uncomfortable around.
First of all, I totally agree with you. And another thing, what a coincidence. I mean, you got to look at the big picture when you're dealing with situations like this. When you become a high-profile black entertainer,
Right.
this is almost destined to happen. But if you look at, I was on Facebook looking at people going back and forth. You have people that's pro Bill Cosby, and then you got people that's, on Bill Cosby's side. And, I mean, you got the people that feel like he's guilty. But at the same time, if it's any women listening, please call in and let us know how you feel about this. If a man at your job or, in the supermarket, or if you somewhere and you see this person more than once, if that person does something that you deem disrespectful multiple times and you let him know about it and he keeps doing it, or you go to his house, he invites you to his house and he says something disrespectful or make a sexual move towards you, do you come around him multiple times? If it really bothers you, you'll never be in his presence again, right? Now, a lot of these women, what I don't understand, and I don't condone child molesters, I don't condone people, raping women or disrespect. Right. But my thing is, how do you say he did this multiple times? Then I've read and did a thorough research before I really speak on it. They've went to his after he's done this a couple of times, they've been to his hotel room. They went to where he did tapings. He had limousines come pick him up. He paid for funerals. I mean, come on. If he did something disrespectful, you cut off all communication with him, right? Why are you? I don't understand that.
Well, that's what I would think, but it's the deception that the media gives.
Media deception.
So like just was speaking on earlier, it's the same with the streets. And it's sad that we in that generation, and not just in the generation, we in the world to where people believe whatever they see on TV.
Exactly.
So if they see it on the news, it's valid. Exactly. It's true. Mm-hmm. Well, they said such and such was gay, so he's gay. I'm going to put it out there. And it's like you have to defend yourself to people that you don't even know, for one, and then two, other people that's putting stuff out there. So it's like you have to defend your manhood because of what Channel 2 said, or because of what Channel 4 said. So Channel 4 word is more valid than the word that is coming from far as the source. So if a motherfucker put it out there that I'm a killer on TV, they just gonna all run with it. They gonna accept it, but no proof. No proof that I'm a killer. Don't have the person that I killed. No witnesses, just allegations.
But see, you also ought to look at the media is a powerful source of information.
It is.
And if you want to deceive a group of people, like I remember at one time, the media, if they want to kind of put the focus on something and just pound it in your brain, we're so naive to understand what's going on because it's always a bigger picture. I remember at one time, if they want to turn a race of people against each other, you play divide and conquer. And the media is the easy platform to do that. They said blacks and Hispanics were rioting in schools.
No, right.
So Fremont, every day they was showing another school with these individuals fighting each other.
Right.
And then, certain things pass. So they do that, and they do that for a reason. So
but see, that's just like when the media, when the news reporter was speaking to the attorney, she said, they said. So who is they? Who are they that you are speaking upon, that you're speaking about? They, far as the accusers, they, far as reporters that you getting your reports from, they, far as the district attorney, they, the judge, like who is they? See, they can be a large realm of people, but it's just for you not really knowing, who said what. Exactly. The same way with the streets. Oh, they say you punked out. They say this. Okay, who is they? Oh, well, that's what I heard. Such and such, and then but it's still going back. You don't have solid, concrete information, and that's the thing. Like before you defame a person, before you the whole defamation of character of an individual, why would you put it out there if you don't really have concrete. And then another thing that killed me is the deposition testimony. That was supposed to be confidential and remain sealed. But the judge is the one
who put it out
who,
there.
yeah, who did. So it's like, okay, the judge basically improperly released it. You know what I mean? And it was a court reporter that illegally obtained all the documents and put everything out there. So in the deposition, it does say that, he basically admitted to buying these Quaaludes, right? Okay, he admit to buying Quaaludes. So if I admit to buying a gun, does that mean that I shot people?
Anybody, that got killed with no evidence, no ballistic
okay,
report.
just because I admitted to buying a gun, okay, well that's enough evidence right there. Okay,
to say you killed that person.
Especially if you're a gang member. Okay, he's a gang member. He admitted to buying a gun. Yes, he did shoot those rival gang members.
And they can get people. They can convince people to think that you're guilty with no evidence.
Well, that's how they get you to. That's how they convince. That's how the media gets people and convinces people. Because look, the media put out there, oh yes, he admitted to buying the Quaaludes. So so you have the viewers that's watching and looking like, oh well, he admitted to doing it. He admitted to dropping them pills in them women drinks. Okay, every woman that's coming, when you look at the accusations, you got a woman that come out and say, yeah, he rubbed up against her butt. Never told the police. And this is what sits, that just don't sit right with me. From 1970, 1978, 1976, you want to come out in 2014 and tell what somebody did then?
But they said that the previous person's story sounded the same, and they felt the time was right for them to come out and tell their story. Come on, man. Are we blind to see what's going on? Those women were, I'm not going to say they were approached, but to me, it seems like somebody approached them, whether with money. I could be wrong, and any woman out there that experienced this, I'm not condoning nothing that Bill Cosby said. I want to make that clear. But please call in, because we're confused to where, how did the previous person that reported this unwanted sexual act towards them said that their story sounded like the other person's story, so they had to come out and speak on what happened. It don't work like that, man.
And another thing, it's just mighty funny that he was getting back into, about to own the network, basically employ black people again and have that good outlook that we should have. And this is just my opinion, my theory on it. They wanted to make sure that he didn't do it, and he probably went over him and said, look, I'm going to do it anyway. Okay, well, if you feel you're going to do it, this is what we're going to do to stop you. This is what we're going to do to stop you, because Bill Cosby was not that powerful of a man in 1970.
30 years ago.
He wasn't that powerful of a man to where, that's just like Oprah. Wasn't that powerful when she was chubby and on the first years of the Oprah show. She wasn't that powerful.
She retained
then,
her power over the years.
And started, aligning herself with certain people. But he didn't have the power to shut up all these women. He didn't have that. And I'm especially him being a black man in that era, and a lot of them white women. You mean to tell me that? And what white woman not going to go tell the police?
And something that they felt that was he did something disrespectful towards them, and they wait all this time to come out. He had a lot of big power moves lined up that he was about to, start pushing. So
yeah, and like I say, it's not. Now what went on?
I'm not saying he's not a freak,
but see. And not saying he is. I don't know what the hell he is.
What he is.
But at the end of the day, and they say it, you can go by, everybody has a past.
Exactly.
But everybody can change their past.
Exactly.
So are we held accountable for our yesteryears? If we already, if we already served or serve that crime, or serve time for that
exactly.
crime,
You've been
or you
penalized.
paid it off, or however. The one thing when you're an entertainer and you're a high profile entertainer, once one accusation come, multiple can come in back to back to back to back, and certain people see that. You have certain attorneys that will even grab certain people and be like, look, this is our chance to make some money. You can, it might sound crazy. It might sound like, oh, well, shit, he don't know what the hell he talking about. But all you got to do is look at it. You got a high-profile entertainer. Let's go with the basketball players. Once one woman come out and say she was raped, then all of them
come out.
But you know why? Because certain times and certain people in that industry know that if you say something and you accuse a person at a time of they stardom, to make it go away, just gonna pay them off.
Exactly.
We're gonna pay them off.
It's a money game.
But from the viewers, a payoff look like a sign of guilt.
Exactly.
Okay, well, I paid this person off. You know what? I did it, but I'm gonna pay him up to shut up. When this case first went on, Whoopi Whoopi Goldberg, she was on The View. She said this same incident. She said she hoped, it's not true about Bill Cosby. She said she's not saying that it is true, and she's not saying it's not true. But she said she been through a similar case to where somebody blamed her for something, put it out there, and she said just to shut them up because she didn't want her family going through certain stuff, she went on and paid them off. And this happened to her a couple times. Now, does that make her guilty? No. And I was glad that she spoke up on that and she said that, because a lot of people don't look at it like that. They look at, oh, well, he paid X, Y, and Z off, so he must have did it. Well, a lot of people don't want to go through this hassle to where it's like you out, like I said, you out here defending yourself on something when you know you right.
Exactly.
Now, if he did do it, then he gonna have to suffer those consequences. But my thing is, if the case was signed, sealed, and supposed to be confidential and not even open back up, whatever it is, he served what he served, or he paid off who he had to pay off. That shouldn't even be. That shouldn't even come back up.
But until we understand that, we have power, we just don't understand the power that we have, and until we align ourselves, educate ourselves on. Once we start respecting and understanding our power, other people will understand and respect our power. We have no power when it comes to that media at all. And so,
unless you control, unless you control that button.
Yeah, and it was a situation where he was putting himself in a position to have more control over the media.
No, he was going to have more control of the content that he puts out.
Yeah,
and the things that he put out. And no, they don't want you to be able to put your people aware of certain things that's going on. No. They don't want that. That's why it's certain things that you can get on YouTube or in the media, but they take certain shit down too. They can't watch all of it, but a lot of it they do take down, just so you won't see it.
And until we understand, I don't care about, they talking about the Illuminati and they allowing this person to do that. I don't care what we do. They're going to be in a position where if you retaining a little too much power, they're going to do everything in their nature to destroy that.
Well, because the power comes with a problem. And the power is the influence, and the problem is that you influenced in a good way to where now your people see what they doing to us. So no, if that's what you're gonna be putting out, no, we're not about to let. No, but if you're gonna put out something to where it makes us look bad as a people, you could. That's why when you look at a lot of the shows. Look at a lot of the shows, even like black shows, a lot of them sometimes now they coming out there be watered down.
Exactly.
And then you got the little black kids that's not acting how we act, and they'll let that go through. Why? Because it's not that strong black role that we would want to see. and entertainment is entertainment. Don't get me wrong. I understand that. But when you putting stuff out with content and messages, you have to put out that message that we can relate to.
But they control. They want to maintain their control on the content that's put out there. You know, they don't want to. You know, the Cosbys was one of the first shows where both members, you know, the mother and the father, were successful. You know, family members, and not on the county, you know, are struggling like the Jeffersons. I mean, that was young coming up. That was one of my favorite shows.
Well, Good Times.
Yeah, I meant to say Good Time. Good Times.
See that's more of the woman barely could get a job. She was a stay home mom. They was trying to get up out the ghetto, but never made it out the ghetto. That's something that they would want you to see. Like, okay, you could try to get out the ghetto, but we ain't gonna let your ass get out. The dad was struggling, doing everything he
just couldn't get over the hump.
He didn't want his woman to work. You know, he wanted the best for his kids. But then you got to look at it. You had it to where they wanted to make one of the kids look dumb, which was, you know, JJ.
Then you had the brother with the black power.
Right. Then Michael was going through certain stuff, and then, you know, the daughter, you know, she was trying to find herself as well. But it wasn't nothing that you seen where they went to school, they could go off and be something. It was, I mean, they were stuck. Sanford and Son, he was stuck in a junkyard.
Selling junk.
You know what I mean? So certain images, and when we look at it, at that era and that time, what's happening and all that stuff, that's what was going on, and that's what we could relate to and all that. But the Cosby Show gave us a whole new hope. Like, okay, my mom could be a lawyer, and my dad could be a doctor. Damn.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And they kids wasn't all, but, you know, they kids struggled with certain stuff too.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
The main thing you seen the structure and the discipline. That what they didn't have, they didn't show ass whooping.
Yeah, they didn't.
You know what I mean? But every family don't whoop ass. No. You know what I mean? But it was certain repercussions and consequences that they had to go through. And you seen the kids go from a learning process to where they learned and they understood what they did wrong, and they was apologetic to their parents.
Exactly.
You don't see that shit now.
No,
you don't see that now. And from what he provided, that platform going on, I mean, that was the best look that we've had from a family series that I know of. I mean, you know, it's a lot of black shows out there, but that's the one that makes us look good and represents us in a way to where we even defend ourselves. Like, they had certain racial things that went on, and they defended themselves in a manner that showed. He basically showed his weapon, which was the brain. Yeah. And every character that he had on there had somewhat of a brain like that. And shit, I like that about the show.
Me too, but I also feel like a lot of our successful sports figures, a lot of our guys that quote unquote make it out of the, I don't call them ghettos, but make it out of the neighborhoods where they grew up, we need to come back into those park and recreation centers and have production companies to teach these young kids how to write scripts, how to write books, how to do music. But, you know, we get too caught up. I won't say going to strip clubs and all that, but spending our money on $1,000,000 cars. I can't tell a man that went out and played basketball or did movies and made his money how to spend his money.
Right.
But we got to go back to each one, teach one. We have no powerful freedom fighters. You know, we don't have people like that today. Our freedom fighters is hip hop. You know, a lot of these kids are influenced by hip hop, and we have no individuals teaching these kids about finances. You know, we were raised, and our parents told us to be proud and taught us to be proud employees. They didn't teach us to be proud company owners and hire employees. So I feel like we're in a tough time now because these kids got it rough, man.
But see,
you know,
even with that, that's why music is one of the last, and radio.
Oh yeah,
is one of the last platforms of freedom of speech, because you can't control what I say on my record. You can't control what I say on my show. You can't control that. And, you know, basically it's I mean, everything is an opinion.
Yeah.
It's an opinion, but I'm still going to uplift my people and uplift people in a way to where it shows progress.
Yeah,
but
but
they want to progress.
But if you notice, the days of the poor righteous teachers, KRS-One, Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, those songs will never even touch mainstream radio no more. If you dropping knowledge and wanting to uplift your brown and your black people, that stuff is, you got to go search for it, and they call it underground. But if you want to learn the new dance, if you want to learn
shit, it don't even be a new dance. It just be
you're not gonna catch that. And I think hip hop was, like you said, freedom of speech. It was us telling stories about what we came through. You had people way in Sydney, Australia, that could relate to what we're doing here.
That just shows you the power of hip hop.
Yeah, and
the power of it. And see, they switched it. They seen the power that was in hip hop through the money.
Mm-hmm.
So the power that they seen, they took it a different way and controlled it into every element to where they have put Britney Spears in hip hop. Mm-hmm. She ain't no damn hip hop, but they control it, so they can say it. They can control it. They can say it, and I mean, it goes even off that. Like this was in the 1970s.
Mm-hmm.
This was in the 1970s, and to show you how the media, just to capitalize off how they do, they deception. A case is something that's open when you speak in legal terms. If it's other cases, that means there's other open cases, investigations on that. Okay, that's how they get you as well. It's the wordplay. Now, the interviewer told his attorney, Bill Cosby attorney, they say there are other cases. It's a lot of other cases out there. She basically cut him off and corrected him and said, no, they're not other cases. And he knew she was about to say something. So he was like, well, okay, allegations. No, you know what you're doing. You put it out there so people can look at it like, damn, he got 50 other cases. No, it's not 50 other cases. It's allegations, but then they come in, like I said, his elbow touched my booty. And it's just dumb stuff. He whispered in my ear and rubbed on my cheek.
But at the same time, if they felt that was disrespectful, like you said, why wait 30 years to speak on it?
No, and it's disrespectful when you tell them stop, and then they continue. But if you never even said a word, if I rub up against a woman's rear end, if I rub up against a woman's breast or whatnot, or if I touch her breast and she don't say, "Oh, Bam, stop that." If I do it and she don't say anything, the door is
open for you to continue doing it.
Do whatever you want to do.
But another thing you said, that they keep saying there's other cases, even if they say there's other allegations, these women are not. They're putting out in the media that he disrespected them, but more than half of them are not putting out there that it's like, okay, you did that, but as long as you don't do that again, I'm gonna come to your room. You've asked me to have sex with me multiple times, but as long as you don't do it, sometimes we could go out to dinner. Oh, we could go out of town. Oh, you can have a limousine come pick up my mother and my father and bring them out to dinner, and I'll go to your room and spend the night with you, but as long as you don't disrespect me.
See, but one thing I didn't hear, like when you lying, you got to keep your lie up. But now, one thing I didn't hear was them say, okay, because I don't know what form of, I guess Quaaludes should act in a form of ecstasy or something. So if that's the case, did the first woman feel a little woozy or anything,
That's a good question.
We going to, well, not first woman, the first time, excuse me, the first time they had sex. But we're going to get back to that when we come back off this break off Eastside Radio. Yeah.
See, I was raised in a different way. When I wake up in the morning, it's a different day. And things ain't always what it seems. They got a polyester vision with a cotton ball dream. Y'all not on my team, I'm on my own. I see the whole court run the one-man zone. Point guard of the streets, I pass the ball. Gotta play selfish so I don't pass at all. Things done change, feeling like the Matrix. Rap game ain't so easy to make it. My soul still here, it ain't easy to tempt me. Seem like the West Coast fighting for a Quincy Jones. Gotta pick a bone for the deal. Bend over and you will get the keys to the Bentley. They put it out there, we all see the real. A lot of rappers like to get their ego stroked gently.
Game we play. No, we are not the same. And I know. Cause I can tell by your ways. What they doing for the fame. That shit crazy. And I know. I gotta let that out the way. In this game we play.
See, when I speak, then I'm spoken on. When I go against the grain, then I'm crazy for it. And I don't let another man make me. Cause even in my sleep, I can see who hate me. Back to the basics, tell me what you're rapping for. Sandman, call me Gregory Hines, what you tapping for? Speaking reality, everybody getting signed. Say that they ballin', but they got a set salary. 3-figure deals, boss wanna own the rights. Say everything you're right, just to cheat you out your meal. Fake floss on me, we in the same boat. I don't come from a coat, just a product of a loaf. Just wanna live wealthy, but dealing with these man-made bitches in the industry, that shit ain't healthy. Penny for your thoughts, dime for your actions. I'm living for my daughters, so they gotta
In
live
this
comfy.
game we play. No, we are not the same. And I know.
Yes. And we are back. Eastside Radio, this is Lil Bam.
And Jazzy.
Tune in to Talk Eastside Radio Facebook and Talk Eastside Radio Instagram. You know, give us your insights on what you feel today's conversation, how it went, you know, last week before, you know, and any upcoming ones that you feel we should touch on, y'all want to hear us speak on, and y'all want to interact with us on. Yeah. But today we on the, you know, we just on this Bill Cosby case, and you know, really would like to see what a lot of y'all feel
about that,
and what y'all think about that, because I mean, these allegations that's coming, and you know, I guess, you know, they had a saying when we was, not just when I was growing up, but I mean parents and everything, you know, what you do in the dark will come to light.
Exactly.
But if you do something and it gets to court, and you know, whatever that case, however it went, is sealed, or you know, and supposedly, you know, courts, this is another thing,
they're supposed to protect you.
They supposed to protect your information, especially if it's sealed, and you know, if it's sealed, that means it's not supposed to get open. And if it does, especially how the reporter obtained these reports, it shouldn't even be permissible in court. Once that person obtained them illegally, it shouldn't even, I mean, it should just be thrown out.
But that's living proof that the system is not set up for us.
Right.
The system originally is supposed to be innocent until proven guilty.
Right.
Now you're guilty until proven innocent.
You just guilty, period.
Exactly. And you're supposed to be judged by your peers, individuals that's supposed to live the same lifestyle and, you know, as us. Come on, man. That's never been
You judged by
fair.
12 that's not like you.
Nothing like
Trust
you.
me.
So, I mean, the system is not, and everybody know that's clear, that it's not set up for us. So you have to educate yourself to understand what's going on. And the media is a big part of that. They brainwash us.
Right.
They keep pounding the same negative energy. A person can have a suit on. If the media want to make that person in that suit a monster, they got the platform to keep pounding that person in that green and gray suit is a monster. And then every day you seeing that same face,
right,
that same suit, that person every day, and all you hear is negative. They gonna do that because there's people on Earth and in different countries that think we're monsters.
Right.
They come here and they like, wait a minute, you know, the whole time in my country I thought all blacks in Los Angeles were gangbangers. You're nice. I'm like, wait a minute, man. Are you serious? And then everybody that come to California, they want to go to Compton, Long Beach, South Central. I say, why you want to go over there? I want to go to Watts. I want to go. They're mesmerized by the negative information that they put on us, and they want to come here and see that.
Because the negative is the good now.
Yeah, exactly.
But the you know, the crazy part is this. As much as they put it out there, they make our fight harder for us.
Yeah, they do.
And the reason is, okay, they put out in the media, they get the whites against us, the Mexicans against us, Asians against us, Samoans against us, and on top of that, us against us. Mm-hmm. So they make us fight ourselves because we fall for it. Make us fight people. So if you got to step out your house and your fight is amongst your people
and everybody,
and then Asians, whites, Samoans, Mexicans, it's like, damn,
man, check this.
Your fight is gonna be hard.
And the crazy thing is, we go back to us retaining knowledge and understand the conspiracy and understand the divide and conquer that they putting out there. I used to carry mail in Boyle Heights. Carried mail in Boyle Heights. And on my route at Boyle Station, I carried mail there. So people used to tell me, hey, it's certain projects you can't carry mail in. Or you got to be careful going over there, Jazzy.
Right.
So not to say I'm a Superman or, I'm not, I'm scared or nothing, but I had to feed my children. So I carried mail, but I respected people. I spoke to people. They walked me through the projects and they, but I respect people. So one of the members on my route used to say, you're not like the rest of you guys. And I'm like, excuse me. Her name was Lisa. I'll never forget. She was an older Hispanic lady. So every day I would go.
You see that? The rest of you guys.
Yeah, she said that. Right. And I honestly didn't get upset. I didn't get offended because I knew she has a misconception of all. There's ignorance in every race.
Right.
Ignorance in every race. So I start talking to her. And then she said, you know what? My father, my mom, we grew up not liking blacks.
Right.
And she said, you different. And I'm like, wow, so I'm thinking, how do I continue this conversation? So we start talking, and I wound up getting cool with her grandkids. And she kind of came out of that ignorant mode like, you know what? This ain't what I thought it was.
Right.
But she was deceived to thinking every single black person was bad. And I never thought that way because I grew up in the area, in a neighborhood where I spent the night at my Spanish buddy Carlos's house. We got up in the morning, we ran, and then as years went by, things changed.
Right.
And there's certain levels of the streets that start coming in effect. But that's a form of divide and conquer.
Well, it's to create the hate. That's just like they put it out there and make it seem like all of the Mexicans are, on the side of the freeway selling oranges and belts.
That's not true.
And wallets. You know what I mean? It's like that's what they put out there. That's the image they want you to see because they can control that image and control it to where, now, even within the Mexican race, you have the Mexicans that don't like Mexicans.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's
and the same with blacks. You
where's
got blacks
that?
that don't like blacks.
Whites don't like whites.
Yeah.
But when you creating that, who has that power? People with money.
Yeah, exactly.
And if your money, especially if it's me, if it's just me, you, and another individual, and we got money, we got the money, but we still don't have all of the power and the resources because the person that's trying to keep us from doing what we really need to do, they have the resources.
Exactly. So
the person that we might go to just because we have the money, they loyal to this person that's trying to keep us from doing what we doing. Yeah. And that's why a lot of things be on developing the relationships.
Yeah.
And if what you talking about is not what I'm talking about right now, then you know what? I'm sorry. You know what? Because I feel it's a lot of people that's still cool with Bill, but behind the scenes, they won't speak because there's certain people that's not speaking up on it in a way. They tried to get Felicia Rashad to talk down on him.
She still got to feed her family.
Well, not just that. Not just that. She knows that man as well. You know what I mean? And with certain people that know people, no matter what, it's nothing that you're going to be able to do
to make them say something negative about
well, like we spoke on earlier, you got friends and homies.
Yeah.
Nobody is going to condone you talking about they friend or they family member around them without speaking up. certain people that listen to it, I'll say this. When people listen to gossip, they believe in some of that shit.
Exactly.
You believe a little bit of it because you volunteering your ears to listen to this bullshit.
Exactly.
So if you going that's I mean, people do that. That like if you just gonna sit up there and look at now, don't get me wrong, we look at the news to see what's going on.
Yeah.
And
but
you gotta
can't
decipher
believe
the
it.
bullshit.
You gotta say, okay, is this real? Okay, nah.
Well, because you got the news that they want us to see, then you got the
Exactly.
real news that people don't go look at.
But you see 90%, 95% of what's put out there on the news is negative. And there's a reason for that.
Well, but look at this. This is another catch. You got I call them your basic news, your bullshit news, and your negative news because you got 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13.
Yeah.
You got all them, right? That's people with the basic set cable. Ask anybody you know if they watch CNN or World News. You know what I mean?
Very few.
Why is it that the CNN news is totally different from Channel 11 and Channel 5 and all? They not going to tell you this shit because a lot of the older people and a lot of people they looking at them networks, Channel 2, 4, and they faithful to those networks. So in that's where the brainwashing coming in, the commercials. But see that the World News and the CNN is totally the content is totally different. I mean, it's unlike something that you just gonna see on standard television, regular cable network. You just not gonna see it. So that right there alone is proving certain information that they know certain people not gonna go watch. You're not gonna go watch this, so we gonna put it out there anyway.
Yeah, the term "believe what you see and not what you hear." Now it's believe what you hear and not what you see.
Right, because a person to show you the truth.
Yeah, man.
They ain't got to tell the truth, and I don't believe what people tell me. I believe what they show me.
Exactly.
And body language, you look at body language. You look at that body language, and even on another part of that case, they try to make it seem as if the media try to make it seem as if they gonna utilize his illness, right? And his attorney capitalized off that. She said his illness is not a fact in this case. The fact of the matter is that he's a 78-year-old man that's going blind.
That's not 30 and 40
Yeah,
anymore.
he's a 78-year-old man that basically y'all attacking because he still have some form of influence that people will still want to see, and people just don't want to see it. You would think you'll have more people standing up fighting for it, but
but the crazy thing is, if he did what he did, he got an answer.
No, right?
Whatever. But at the end of the day, some of that stuff is just pure hate too. People that don't like,
the
black
control
people.
hate.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah,
And just even before we get out of here, it's easy to say, and it's just to touch on how the media operates. Once they put it out there, and you'll have an argument with somebody in your circle, a woman, because women take to it differently. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Well, if that's the case, why is it that 16 women said the same thing?
Exactly.
The same thing. They have to put it out there to convince you. So you could not take a liking to this man no more and X him off.
And then say, if he didn't do it, why are 16 people saying the same exact thing? How did, out of coincidence, 16 to quote unquote 50 people come up with the same thing at the same time? They wasn't. I mean, me personally, how I feel about that. Not saying that they lying or whatever, but if I feel that they was approached and said, hey,
they got
this
paid.
is what's going on, and here
they got paid.
But anyway,
until then, thank y'all for tuning in, listening to Eastside Radio, watching Eastside Radio.
That's right.
Tune in to Talk Eastside Radio, Instagram, and Talk Eastside Radio Facebook. Let us know what you feel about this, and go get that Lil Bam, Point Guard of the Streets, lilbam.bandcamp.com, or on iTunes. And stay tuned for Point Guard of the Streets second quarter.
And check me out on Instagram, Twitter, Jazzy Management. Peace.
Yeah. Next week, same time, same channel. Y'all know what it is.